My name is Casper, and I have been homeschooled my entire life, but I've been doing online high school classes since like 7th grade, 8th grade. So yeah, I'm in 10th grade right now.
My name is Dominic. I've been homeschooled my entire life, which has really helped me pursue piano as a performing major in college. I will be pursuing it in college.
My name is Róża Kostrzewska-Joro. I come from Poland. I studied piano since I was 4 years old and was giving lots of different lectures to teachers. And then I thought, you know what, I can do it online.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences that happen from regular schooling. Like for instance, you can choose basically what you want your academic life to be. You have a lot more freedom in terms of making decisions about your academics and like what you want to do basically, when you want to do it and stuff. But that also means that you're not going to have as much like physical contact with, you know, people in school. I mean, I did have a lot of classes that were in real life before COVID. But yeah, I definitely had a lot of online classes also, and yeah, I've mainly been homeschooled for my entire life.
Homeschooling gives you the opportunity to schedule when you want to do your homework, if you want to move your homework to like after a competition, or you know, or it just gives you a very wide range of scheduling aspects that you wouldn't be able to do if you were in public school. And because of that, I was able to practice for different competitions that often happen during the school year. And you know, if I was in public school, that would be very difficult to happen because I mean, you might get like a pardon, but if there are many of them, like there usually are in the school year, then that wouldn't look too good.
I think COVID has changed a lot for people who were previously in school. Like online schooling was always looked as like, you know, no one ever really knew what it was. Like I knew what Zoom was way before COVID was. I had tons of classes on Zoom and whatever. And I think because of COVID, a lot of more people are maybe going to be doing online schooling and stuff, and they're going to realize, oh, look how much easier this is. A lot of stuff is going to change for how schooling is taking approach, and a lot of people have had a negative experience in terms of online schooling because like a lot of schools are forced to go to online schooling and they don't have a lot of time to prepare, so they just like for instance, I have several classes where there's some really major problems with how the class is organized and whatever, and that's not their fault. They have literally like what, a month to figure it out in 9 months while they were doing it.
I'd say my emphasis is kind of split 50-50. I'll put a lot of attention to both. I'd say I'll practice around 4 hours a day or so, and then academics, I mean a little more than that actually. I'll practice like maybe 5 hours, and then also academics around 5 hours or so, something like that. Well, I mean, I'd say those who say that probably haven't experienced the pandemic. Like I'd say that would be pre-pandemic people that are saying, you know, online schooling doesn't kind of destroy their social life. But those who, you know, have realized now that it doesn't really do that, because there are so many upsides to online schooling. You know, you don't have to travel to your school, and I'd say environmentally that's really nice. I mean, I'd say like our effects on global warming are probably lessening right now because of the pollution that is not happening because of, you know, the car driving and travel. Once we get like the problem with internet, like if we have a reliable internet for everybody, then honestly online schooling seems to be a very nice solution for everyone. And socializing online via like Zoom or Skype is obviously a little different than in person, but it's not really ruining your social lives, but it's not really continuing it in person. So like having a friendship online over Zoom or Skype for a little bit of time, I don't think really does anything to a friendship. I think it just transforms it for a little bit, like to like an online, I'd say like phase or something, and then you just come back and you become friends again. I'd say there should be for sure like a standard that every like younger kid should follow. Like they should definitely do their math and English and at least like some kind of science, despite whatever they're interested into. But I'd say that there should also be like room for, you know, for what they want, but not too much that they get too invested into that one subject that they don't pay attention to any of that, because you know interests like mine have changed all the time. I mean not all the time, but they have changed. Like I was once interested in like English at one point, then I completely switched to physics. I was hardcore interested into physics, and then now I'm interested, you know, into music. And if I were to only do physics, you know, music is kind of like a sport. You can't really just quit and then come back. I mean you can in certain sports, but not in like many competitive ones. Music is kind of like a sport in the sense that you kind of have to stick with it the whole way. And if I were to invest myself completely in physics, then I might not have had as many chances to become a musician.
My name is Róża Kostrzewska-Joro. I come from Poland. I studied piano since I was 4 years old, and I graduated from Chopin Academy in Warsaw. After this, I came here and I started playing and teaching. I taught in university also for 9 years. For years was interested and was giving lots of different lectures to teachers. Sometimes they were organized through different music organizations. And I was asked before COVID started by a few teachers if I can again do my courses. And I thought, okay, all right. But it took me so long that COVID hit. And then I thought, what do I do now? And then I thought, you know what? I can do it online. So I started with those, and it turned out that this was a huge success because very many people from different parts of the world who would normally would not be able to travel, like from Singapore, Malaysia, who have kids, who have also their studios, but are interested to have something a little bit, again, new, inspiring, and learning. They were able to join, and I was able to meet with them through the lectures and also additional classes even. I realized that, however, I thought it's impossible to teach on Zoom or online. It's actually possible. If there is a will, there is a way. My parents always taught me, and I believed in that, and I can actually, things are happening quite positively with this kind of approach. Many of my students who study with me were coming to me from long distances, from sometimes hour and a half away. So in a way, right now, they also save a little time. I also gained students who live in different countries, but definitely there are pluses and there are things we can learn, and there are benefits in this kind of way of learning.
I can imagine that a lot of colleges are seeing the many upsides in online schooling. So I can definitely imagine that even if we get, a vaccine and everything becomes back to normal somehow, then I'd be very surprised if colleges don't integrate some of the systems that they have now adapted to now later into their schooling education system, because there's so many, maintenance and educational costs are a lot lower, I'd imagine, and travel costs too, and environmentally that's very nice. So I can imagine that that the schooling system will have changed after COVID, despite everything going back to normal.
Hopefully people are gonna make it a lot more easily accessible and better, and make the experience a lot easier. And hopefully education will be accessible to a lot more people.